start to go.
Veered off the road.
And then the car started rolling.
I just remember seeing the car start to drift.
The car flipped multiple times.
I remember lots of dust.
We were all asking each other if we were okay.
What just happened?
I tried to unbuckle my seatbelt, but that seatbelt just like kept me there the entire time.
I got out of the car and just like seeing the car just upside down and like how far we were from the road. I'm just very grateful.
What am I thankful for?
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 It's gotta be seatbelts.
And I'm grateful for seatbelts.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts. Most importantly in life, because of seatbelts.
When I look back on Lexi's story, and then I see the story from these 6 teens, I know that this outcome could have ended so differently. This is the story I love to share. The seatbelt save, making those good decisions. And when we interviewed these teens, I asked them, so was everybody buckled up when you left the dinner? Did anybody have to remind someone in the car? Did you have to remind any of your friends to buckle up? And the 6 kids were looking at each other. They said, no. We all put on our seatbelt. I said, why? And they said, it's just what we do. I don't know, we were taught that. And so when I look back at parental involvement, they learn that from their parents. I know that as parents, we have room for improvement. And I'm sure your teen, you will know all about those areas that you can improve. Are you rolling through a stop sign? Your teen will tell you. They're going to critique you. They're learning these things right now. I know there's great room for improvement. That's okay. But I know that your teen is also learning really good things from you as a parent. Keeping this conversation going. It's not only about what we talk about this evening. It's about how do we keep this discussion ongoing, checking in with your teen along the way, even when they're 17, even when they're 18, even when they're 19. Maybe they don't live in your home, but they might still be on your insurance. Until they're 25, that means you have so many years left of say, right? Here's your agreement, parents. Committing to having 0 unbuckled people in your car from today forward. And then teens, of course, making the same promise to your parents. Okay, our 4th and final topic is distracted driving. This is our newest TV spot with 0 fatalities, and I was very lucky to be able to work on the creation of this spot. The most important part is the very end where they say, real life demands real attention. Reversing our priorities. If we look back at the example of the story, the parents had gone into a movie with their kids, and If we think about these examples in our own lives where we are devoting our undivided attention, when it's a movie, maybe it's a conversation, maybe. But then when we are getting in the car, every time we are getting in the car, we allow ourselves to be somewhat, in some form, distracted. And every time we reach for our phone, perhaps that's our problem. We reach for that phone, we are making an agreement with chance. The chance that all the cars in front of you will maintain their speed when you're looking at your phone. The chance that nobody pulls out in front of you. The chance that the entire roadway is as you left it before you looked at your phone. What if we devoted real attention to our real life moments all the time? And what if we don't? I can tell you from personal experience that the difference between nothing happening to you, a near miss where you perhaps prevent a crash from happening, and never coming home, the moment of that mistaken error, it is closer than you could ever simply imagine. In October, I was involved in a crash. And after that crash, it rocked my mind. Because I live traffic safety. I've been doing this for over 5 years. I study traffic safety, and the moments that are so important to me are the moments when I meet the mother and the father whose teen was killed in a car crash. I get to sit and talk with them. Out of that devastating, life-changing moment, they are now my friends. I made a mistake. I wasn't on my phone. I didn't even have the radio on. There was nothing to distract me. I had nowhere to be. I was in no hurry. But I was impatient. I made a left-hand turn, and when I looked once, nobody was there. I looked twice, still, nobody was there. I made the turn and I was T-boned on the driver's side by an SUV in a low car. My seatbelt and my airbag saved my life. And when I sat there, I was devastated because only a couple weeks before my crash, a teen made a left-hand turn. And she was T-boned. And her little sister, who was a passenger that was hit on their side, didn't survive that crash, and I did. In one split second, everything was clear. And then it wasn't. Either I didn't see it, or I saw it, but I didn't see it. I am responsible for my actions. And I know so greatly that the risk is so not worth it. Always wearing our seatbelts, bringing your undivided, real attention to every single moment. So parents, this is the distracted driving agreement for you this evening. That you agree to your teen that from today forward you will enforce the GDL passenger restriction law, no passengers in your kid's car for 6 months. And know that at 6 months, even though the law says that your teen can have a passenger, check in with your teen. Have they been involved in any crashes in 6 months? Were 3 of them in your driveway? 2 of them in the high school parking lot? Perhaps you don't want to give them a friend at 6 months. And maybe at 6 months they've been involved in no incidences. They've received no citations. So then at 6 months you say, okay, you can have one friend. And with this one friend, it's from point A to point B. And you see how that goes for 2 weeks or a month. You know your teen the very best, better than anybody else. So checking in and having this conversation about the rules, what happens when they are followed and also when they are broken. And then teens, you also promise that you will commit to 0 passengers for 6 months, in addition to 0 texting, talking, or app use when driving. And parents, how many of you have your phone on the do not disturb? Is that activated do not disturb when driving? Some of us, yeah. It's the simplest and easiest thing to help you bring your real attention. Put the phone on do not disturb and let me know if you have questions about setting up do not disturb on your phone. And then before you go, oh, this is an example. Before you go, if you could check your app for your post test. There is a post test to evaluate your knowledge of the graduated driver license laws, and then add any input if you have more recommendations. But it also just helps me know if I taught you well, and also if this meeting was meaningful for you and your teen. With that, I'm so thankful that you were here. Stay involved with your kids. Look for those opportunities to have a discussion and learn these lessons. And then teens, I hope you feel empowered and supported to tell your parents that you need to drive. Be relentless and get your driving practice so that you feel prepared for that road when your parents are no longer with you in the car. With that, thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening.